musicals, pirates, and pizzazz. You are now tuned into the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Jen Diz.
And that's Mike TV.
Tap your toes and warm up your vocal cords. We have a wonderful episode about Disney musicals, plus a cursed Patreon topic about Disney's top 10 pirates. Arr.
So I'm going to go ahead and just apologize now for sound on my end because I am recording in a car today. This is how my life is
That's
in
the
the moment.
best. The car
There's
could
so much
be
going on in the
the
place I normally record. So yeah.
the most soundproof
I
design.
do like it. It is I call it my office a lot because I do like when I need some privacy on a phone call or something and I just want to like talk about my life problems, I always come out to my car. So
Nicely
here we
padded.
are.
Nicely padded
Yes.
on the left, right, above, and beyond. I will also apologize in advance because I still cannot stop obsessing over Wicked
Yes, please do apologize for
a
that.
hundred years later, and it's becoming my whole personality. So annoying, and I hate when other people make something their whole personality. But you know what? That's life, and I'm gonna absorb it all in. But the last time I remember like feeling this way was with animated musicals. And I was starting to think about it because I'm overanalyzing it day and night. And it reminds me of the 90s Renaissance. So, like that feeling after watching, I would say, like Little Mermaid or Aladdin, and you just couldn't stop singing the songs and thinking about the songs. I feel like that's the last time I felt that way. And so maybe that's why I like Wicked Extra because it like dink, it like unlocked
Yeah,
that little
I'm sure it
thing.
did.
So it made me just start thinking all about musicals. And Disney has a ton. So I thought before we get into our Pirates Patreon topic, we would analyze some musicals for fun. That way I could get this out of my system.
Yeah, please, let's do it.
There we go. Now, the thing about musicals is there's so many formats, right? There's live theater, like OG Broadway, and then there's the animated form that really Disney, got to give it out. Shout out to Disney, really is the one who started that. I think with Snow White or something. And then there's also movie musicals too. But do you have any favorite musicals?
Is this from Wicked? Oh, Les Mis. Oh, you called it. Yes. I have to say I am not the biggest musical fan unless it is dreary, depressing, and emotional. For whatever reason, I don't know what that says about my personality, but I love a good Les Mis, a Phantom of the Opera,
Oh,
like
Phantom of the Opera, yeah.
yeah, those big, epic, sad, like I want to cry, like sad tears. But but yeah,
Oh,
I do
that's a good
love Les
one.
Mis.
What are your thoughts? Because if you're someone who doesn't necessarily love or run to musicals, like you said, what do you think about this type of storytelling where something like this has to happen?
Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men?
What do you mean by this has to happen?
Of a people who will not.
So I'm gonna
Listen
start
again.
suddenly talking to you in
Oh,
song because on the podcast. Now that sounds like a ghost. I did it wrong.
for some reason, and like you know how you go back into your life and there's things that were handed you when you're young in a certain way and you just because you were little and you loved everything that you were learning and you just accepted it that way. And then it always is that way in your life and it's fine. So they get a pass. I think that's what that is for me. But now when I hear a movie and they're singing all the words, I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
What is going on? What about the songs that give you like memories, nostalgia,
Aw,
goosies? Like you get some goosebumps when you hear certain songs.
I do. I do. They do just that. I
Wow.
can see
One
this whole
day
scene right
more,
now in the play just from
another day,
hearing that
another
beginning part.
destiny. This never-ending road to Calvary.
First of all, is this the play Broadway version or is this the Hugh Jackman version?
This is the London West End Broadway version.
So good.
Oh, the drum?
Now I want to go see this again.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I did trap you by starting with this example of a show that I know you love.
Yes.
But I think the point is too, because I actually didn't see Les Mis until I was much older. And I think I'll confess, I think the movie version's is the only one I saw. And then stuff on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And then I think like in high school, it would get performed now and then, but I didn't pay attention. But it has such good music. So I remember watching it in the movies with Anne Hathaway, Hugh Jackman, all them. And I wasn't sure going into it if it was going to be good. But then I realized I knew like half the songs somehow because it was so popular.
They still make their way into your life. Yeah.
Yep. So it's so good. And it just blows you away sometimes when you have a good performer song, like all the things at once. It's nice.
Yes.
But so I wanted to talk about Disney musicals in particular, 90s Renaissance, because what's interesting is that there was kind of a format during that time where these creators like Howard, Alan, Steven, I go by their first name, Howard, you know, these folks. And there's that documentary about Howard Ashman, right? Ashman?
Yes.
So they really brought Broadway live musical theater to Disney. That's when it really started to have that format, starting with like Little Mermaid. And so that format usually is something like there's a song that introduces the world of the movie. Then there's going to be a song that shows the main character is longing for something. Oh, I'm longing for something. And those kind of beats. And then I'm gonna show you that it's all there, and it's crazy that it's almost like exact replicas of each other. But it's so good that we ate it up.
That's funny.
And I eat it up to this day. And they even used to do that with animation, right? Like the cells.
Yeah. Yep. They had like the rotoscoping or not even rotoscoping. It was because rotoscoping is when they trace over a live person, right? Like the movements of a live person. There's another thing where they like have, I don't even really understand how they do it, but like you'll see videos of like Robin Hood and Maid Marian doing a certain move, and then the exact same move is just like overlaid with the new characters in another film.
Different dress, different animal friend.
Right.
From an owl to a bird.
But the movements are identical. It's pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Very crazy. Okay.
I don't get how they do it, but they do it.
90s, actually in 1989, but you know, this is our era, the Renaissance of Disney. Little Mermaid came out, and one of the most popular songs is her longing
there is
song.
Something the matter with me. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal.
Not enough.
I want more.
She wants more. Selfish. She's already a princess. Get over it.
I want to be where the people are.
She wants to be where the people are.
I want to see them dancing.
So very cute. By the way, it's best if we talk over a lot of this music so that we can get straight through the copyright filters. So feel free to add your commentary anytime you'd like. Even if you're listening along, shout out your commentary or sing along too. But yeah, that's like a good example of probably a very straightforward longing song, right? From the main character.
Right. There always has to be something that we're waiting for them to figure out, right? Like
Yeah,
we're in it with them, we're sold on this character, and now we want to help them
there you
get
go.
to what they need.
And so then the rest of the movie is going to be about will they get there? Won't they get there? How do they get there? What happens while they get there? So
And yeah,
interesting.
what goes along on the journey while they're
There you go. And
getting
sometimes
there.
we say what the journey is better than the destination, more important.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
what is that saying?
Something like that.
I forget, but yes.
Uh, yeah, beautiful song. And then you add another layer to it. If it's relatable, even better. So like that song was relatable to so many, all kinds of things that you might be going through where you want something different. Or as a teenager, like she was, rebelling and trying to get out
Mm-hmm.
of your roots, your family, home, and all that. Love it. Love it. Okay, so that was written by Howard Ashman, Alan Menken. So that's when we started seeing, oh, okay, you bring these guys over from Broadway with Disney, put it all together, amazing animation. Another example is from Beauty and the Beast, and this one is an interesting combo of Belle using her song and dance in the very beginning choreography to interact with the villagers and also start talking about like what the village is like, what her life is like. It's really setting the whole story in just like 3 minutes of music, but you do have to listen to the lyrics in order to get that. And then it's one of those things, the more and more you listen to it, I think it was it CDs back then? Probably.
Probably, yeah. That
Yeah.
era.
Like I would listen to these soundtracks over and over, and I would always hear new things or different lines that I didn't know before that it tells a story. But this song here from Beauty and the Beast, oh,
I'm
so
trying.
memorable.
I'm trying. Okay. So this is for like Journey song too, right?
Yes, it's also giving Sound of Music in this animated clip. I think she's like on the hill spinning or something.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even the outfit a little bit too, right?
Oh yeah,
I
yes,
forgot about
totally.
that.
Town, it's a quiet village.
Mhm.
Right.
Every day, like the
Descriptions,
one before.
Yeah.
visual.
So all there, we already know she's bored. She's tired of the Groundhog Day of this small ass village, and then it comes to life, and then you get to see everything. What's cool about this is we start to learn about her also through the villagers' eyes. They like talk all kinds of crap about her, always reading books.
Yeah.
Rude. But what I love about this particular song, let's play a little bit more.
Here in town there's only she who is beautiful as me. So I
that's
make
Gaston.
plans to and marry
Introduced the villain
Belle.
already.
As beautiful as me.
There
love
we
this scene.
introduced
It's very
the background performers. What are they called?
Yeah,
Ensemble cast.
yeah, yeah.
Marshal Ardon.
French, it's a French town now.
Mhm.
But it also tells us that we're about to watch like a full-on musical where people are popping out of windows. They're singing their dialogue. So they just go right into it. And I love that. It's like, okay, this is what we're watching. And then when it's a cartoon, it's not as jarring to me than living humans.
Well, they have both of that in Beauty and the Beast, though, right? There's regular dialogue too.
Yes, of course. In between the big number song and dance, you want to give some good, straightforward dialogue to move some things forward.
Right.
For sure. Now, this is where we start to see a trend from Alan Menken and his buddies. So Howard Ashman, Stephen Schwartz. I'm just imagining like they're all like friends. Very cool. And coming up with these songs and having fun doing it. But this is one where they started this trend. So Belle kind of has a longing song. It was a little bit in there, the one we just heard, but there are so many people singing in that, right? So many characters. But in the very beginning, we heard her longing. But Alan and Howard said, what if we do a reprise.
Can you imagine?
They love a
Ask me
reprise.
to marry him. Me, the wife of that boorish
Recapping.
prince. Madame
Right.
Gaston,
Same
can't you just see
tune,
it?
new
Madame
words.
Gaston is
Familiar.
little wife.
Familiar, yeah.
No,
yeah.
sir, not me. I guarantee
Nope, I'm
that
empowered.
I want much more than this provincial
This is
More.
the part that
life.
screws me up though, because I'll start singing the wrong lyrics all the time.
Oh, then it's a huge climax. Oh my
Epic.
goodness.
So epic.
I want adventure in the
Oh, the
great
different
wide somewhere.
different
I want
timing.
more than
Camera
I
spinning
can
around.
tell.
Wide lens.
And for once it might be
I just got chills listening to that too.
Oh my god.
It worked. It
It
worked.
worked.
Understand.
It is cool
got me.
how animation does need a good director. Like we were just directing it right now, co-directing it, but where the camera was going, what's happening, like all that. Someone has to decide that. That's really interesting, even though it's animation. Okay, so that's her longing song in the form of a reprise. I used to say reprise when I read these off the CDs
I think I did too.
when I was young. Like Janet Jackson loved a good
I think I still
reprise.
say it.
Oh, because they had reprise. Janet Jackson, her albums. That was also a trend in the 90s. And I think 2000s. These little reprises in between the songs. Okay, so let's go to another collaboration. This is an interesting one because it's mostly Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Howard passed away, I believe, before he got to see the finished film, Aladdin.
Aw.
One of the best. And so Steven Schwartz helped like polish it up and finish it off. So I keep bringing up these people because they do more than Disney, but what we like about them is their Disney stuff. But like Alan Menken did, I hope I'm saying the right person. Little Shop of Horrors. I don't know why I'm doing a
Yes.
violin. Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors. Steven Schwartz did Wicked. Oh my God. What?
What's that
How am I back to making Wicked my whole
What is that?
personality?
show? What is what? Carry on.
Speaking of Wicked, I forgot to mention in our Oz themed episode, there was another Disney Oz movie, The Muppets Wizard of Oz, and I've never seen it.
I don't think I've ever seen it either.
It sounds fun and cute. The original, with the scarecrow and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I mean, anything Muppets is cute as hell, so
anything
that's a for
Muppets.
sure.
I like them parodying things.
Yes.
Okay, so no more Wicked. Back to Aladdin and the people who worked on it. So there was a reprise here that I still love to this day. It still gets me. So we're introduced to Aladdin and the world of Agrabah through Aladdin's eyes from the song One Jump Ahead of the Bread Line, One Swing Ahead of the Sword. I steal only what I can
Only what I
afford.
can afford. And that's everything.
Dun, dun, dun. That's such a good song. And then the live versions of those are always good, whether it's on a cruise ship or DCA. It's a fun number. Classic musical. You have choreography. You have three things happening at once, colors. He's moving through a village, and he's also telling the story about how he's a thief. And then that the palace guards are trying to get him, and that he's not new to this. He's done this before, and like this is his shtick. And it's like, okay, so this is Aladdin.
Shit.
That's his shtick. He's a street rat thief. But what if a reprise told us a little bit more about his real longing and how he really feels?
Sometimes I can't recognize the beginning of these songs.
Riff-raff, street rat,
Right.
I don't
Oh,
buy
I do like this part.
If only they'd look closer,
Oh,
would they see a poor boy? No siree.
No siree.
indeed. Oh, whoops.
They'd find out
Find out.
there's so much
Much more.
to me.
Ah,
Yes, it's a good one.
such a good one.
The feels.
and then it's a quiet version with the song that you just heard that was loud, just with your character. So there you go. So there was a bell in Aladdin. They both did that. There is a song from Aladdin that we have to acknowledge because this is pure. Every version of a musical, whether it's classic 1950s TV movie musicals or live Broadway show musicals, or just theater, entertainment, all of that.
Wow, wow.
Live instruments, yep. Get that band, choir, chorus.
Master, you in luck, 'cause up your sleeves you got a brand of magic never fails.
So in this song, not only are we introduced to the supporting character of the genie, but we also learn all the rules of the rest of the movie. We learn the rules of the game. He's a genie. He comes out of a lamp if you rub it. He gives you 3 wishes, and then he goes on to tell you all the rules and loopholes about the wishes so that you can get ahead of that. Like, you can't say, oh, bring someone back to life. Nope, he already squashed it. So through entertainment, they get through that whole exposition. And then they end up in a different place because he gets out of the Cave of Wonders. Love it.
Now say, Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Well, look at here. All you gotta do is rub like so.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Aladdin, sir,
Is this Michael James Scott?
Yeah, this is Robin himself.
You big nabob.
Is it?
Never had
Yeah.
a friend, never had a friend, you ain't. Never had a friend, never had a friend, you ain't. Never had a friend like me.
Go big or go home. Confetti, sparkles,
You ain't never had a friend
Like-
like me. Ha.
high kicks, all the things.
That was weird. I didn't recognize a couple of his little sounds he did there.
So many versions that we've experienced. So many.
Right?
So that was a good, another good version of just like bringing the musicals to where we grew up. Now, Stephen Schwartz and Alan Menken continued working together after the passing of Howard, and they did a really good musical that, oh God, there's so many. Okay, I'm going to take you through a couple, I'm going to take you through a few, starting
Okay.
with this first song, which introduces like the kind of wacky storytelling format of the film Hercules,
Okay.
introduces the narrators.
We are the muses,
Oh, the muses,
goddesses of
yes.
the arts, and proclaimers of heroes.
Heroes like Hercules.
Honey, you mean Hercules.
So they're like, all right, this is the musical
Hercules.
style of this. There's going to be some gospel in here. There's going to be these narrators telling the story.
And that's the world's first dish.
Yeah, baby.
Sustain the globe while still in its
Good one. And also pure musical, like people popping out and dancing and choreography and lights. Now, do you know, I'm going to ask you this, do you know Hercules' Longing song?
Yes. Out there. Oh, wait, that's Hunchback. It's me. You
Which
spit
we
out
will
your
get
water.
to. We will get to. That is the best of this list. Thank you very much.
Hercules. Yeah, hold on. There's one where he was singing something about like, oh wait, the one that what's his face sings. I'll make a man out of you or something like that. No, that's not really a longing
Mulan.
song.
It's Mulan.
Dang it, I don't know any of these.
Okay, but that just goes to show that the pattern is real. You're basically picking these other songs from other movies where it serves the same purpose as that thing.
Yes.
So that's fun, especially out there. That's also Stephen Schwartz, Alan Menken. But for Hercules, it's this really good one. This one's fun to sing like karaoke too. That's the lead.
One day more. Just kidding.
They all start to sound the same.
Oh, very much a longing song.
Great warm welcome will be waiting for me with a crowds will cheer when they see my face. The
Famous.
voice keeps saying, this is where I
My
want
Where I
to
want
be.
to
I will find my way. I can go the distance.
Distance.
I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I am on my way.
Epic
Oh,
ending.
whoa.
Epic
I
finale.
can go the distance. I don't care.
This is the World of
how
Color
far.
show now.
Somehow I'll be strong. I know every mile.
Oh, that's a good one. You know, we saw Anika Noni Rose perform that live when we were front row sorcerer seats at D23
Crazy.
Expo. I will tell you that. This one also had a reprise.
I'm where I belong.
Wow. So I didn't deep dive into why that one has a reprise because the first one already sounds like his Longing song. Maybe that was just a little extra. I'm not sure. Okay. Next is you were getting to Hunchback. Okay, Hunchback is, I don't think it would ever be made at Walt Disney Animation Studios anyways, today. And they let so much risk happen with the music. It's very mature. If anything, it feels a little bit like that Les Mis, like the dark, it's also, I guess, in France, but like that kind of like dark underpinning is like, ugh, everything's sad. And but the Disney-fied version. So it's drama. This movie is drama. It's opera. It's almost opera in some parts, and full-on musical. And the beginning is so dramatic, starting with the chanting. And it goes from chanting to
Paris, the city awakes to the
waltz-style
bells of
singing
Notre
from the narrator.
The fisherman fishes, the bakerman bakes to the bells of
Man, I haven't seen this movie enough.
Notre-Dame, to the big
They love to
bells
talk
as loud
about
as the thunder,
the bakers in the villages
bells
and all of these
song,
things.
and some
And then we get a big chorus.
Judge Claude
Mhm.
Frollo longed to purge
Gotta
the
throw a
world
church
of
chorus in something
Church
in
chorus.
Notre Dame.
Scary villain.
My conscience is
You
clear.
can lie to yourself and
People
your
are talking, they're talk
You can
singing.
claim that you
half
Talk
full.
singing.
Quasimodo.
Introduce the main character.
Here is a riddle to guess if you can sing the bells of Notre Dame.
I skipped around a little bit, but yeah, real dramatic. Like 5 different
Very big
melodies
dramatics.
in that. And then they really set up, what I like about this is they really set it up to make sure that we all know that everyone thinks the Hunchback is scary, which is kind of sad now that I think about it. And then immediately they go, Alan and Stephen and the writers go, no. Once Frollo goes away, Quasimodo longs. Is a longing song.
Give me one day up there. All
Poor
I
guy.
ask is
Just one day.
to hold forever up there where they all live on.
This is the song I imagine my cats are singing when they look out the window.
Yeah, they're like longing to be
Indoor cats.
Just to live one day.
I hope I just epic.
The drums, boom, boom, belting, trumpets,
Out there
run
are the
around.
millers and the weavers and their
Run around, knock things over.
wives and gables, I can see them.
Say hello to the people that you spin when you run by. Like all these kind of are the same movie after a while. But in a
That's
good
true.
way. In a good way. I love it. And I think that's why the 90s Renaissance stands out, because it like was its block of thing. Really good. What I love about Hunchback 2 is that they went full on operatic with, it just wasn't in like Italian or anything, but that Hellfire song,
My I feel her, I see her, the sun caught in her raven
Wait, what?
hair is blazing in me out of all
What? First of all, Italian? I
like
can't with you.
fire,
But why
hellfire,
do you think it should be in
this
Italian?
fire.
Because when I think of this type of opera, I think of
Okay. Because the opera side.
Garden.
Gotcha. I thought you were misplacing where Notre Dame is. So I was like,
No. Remember, I said Les Mis and this both in France.
Yep.
Dramatic
And
song,
Beauty and the
right?
Beast.
And Beauty and the Beast. And Beauty and the Beast. Dramatic,
Very dramatic.
dark,
Mm-hmm.
like not rated G, I don't think.
The movie is
Um,
definitely dark.
And there's a couple more that there's only one animated film more that I wanted to show that was worked on by Stephen Schwartz and Alan Menken. And this one was an interesting one because I also think it wouldn't be made today. So these guys got to work on some really interesting things at a point in time where there was a lot of gray area about cultural appreciation versus cultural appropriation. And that's the 90s. I love it. That's where we grew up. Whatever. Dare to keep kids off drugs. So this song is going to be unique because it is the main character's longing song. Well, I'll just leave it there. The leaves,
Why does it sound
the
so familiar?
colors.
What I love most about rivers is
Oh.
you can step in the same river twice. The water's always changing, always flowing. But people, I guess, can't live like that. We all must pay a price to be safe.
That's
we
kind
lose
of
our
a
chance
complicated
never
singing bit right there, too.
knowing What's around the
Yeah.
river bend? Waiting just
like that
around the
polyrhythmic-
river bend. I look once more.
I don't know if it's considered that,
just
but
around the river bend.
offbeat,
Beyond
I
the
guess.
shore.
It's harder to sing along with.
So hard to sing when that happens.
Yeah.
That's
That's how I feel about, what's his face?
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel, yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost rapping at some point.
All these kind of crazy singing patterns.
So yeah, that's Pocahontas, and here it is, another princess longing to be either outside of their situation or outside of what they grew up knowing.
Mhm.
Very interesting, but this one just happens to be a true story. Okay, so what I liked about what Stephen and Alan did with the music and lyrics for Pocahontas is there's this other song that is probably the more famous song than Riverbend. It's Colors of the Wind.
Mhm.
And this song is interesting because sometimes in these musicals or movies or these formats that we're talking about, there is a song where the person who's longing for something, so Pocahontas, finds out the hard truth about either the thing she wanted or something that she trusted was part of how to get to what you want. And a lot of these movies, we're not going to go to all of those because I can go back and go on and on. They usually have that song. But I really liked this one from Pocahontas because I sing Colors of the Wind all the time as a happy song, but it's really not.
I'm an ignorant savage, and you've been so many places. I guess it must be so, but still I cannot see if the savage one is me. How can there be so much that you don't know? You don't.
The wind, the leaves.
And it goes into such
The
a
water.
soft song after that, like
Yeah.
kind of like intense start.
You think you own whatever land you land on.
They skip to some of the
The earth
chorus.
will all grow. If you cut it down, then you'll
Let those trees grow.
Let
Plant a
them-
tree.
let them grow. Grab the sticks.
Esquites, blue corn.
We need to sing with all the voices of the mountain.
Copper skin.
We need to paint with
So yeah. What do you think about that song now that we're like listening to the lyrics?
I feel like I separate the first part from the second part. I never remember that they go together because they sound so different.
Yeah.
Um,
Also very musical Broadway, always. That's a
yeah,
pattern in a
yeah.
lot of these. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it fits very well. And
Yeah.
yeah, it goes right into that whole different feel immediately.
And they did go pretty hard with the hard truths that the character was singing about. She was like,
Right.
I found out what's around the river band. It's white people who are all trying to trick me, but one of them is hot AF, and I want to get with him.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
trying to show him all around my town, and he's pointing things out that are horrible. And I'm noticing that he's very horrible to the earth that I love. And so are all of his people. Like she says all that stuff in the song while talking about these beautiful things. But yeah, the hard truths that the character faces. Love it. Love it. Now, there is one live action that I wanted to talk about that Alan and Steven worked on together. And this is more modern. This is way after the 90s Renaissance, but I would say, I think purposely, now that I think about it, they were hired to do this because it was meant to pay homage and tribute to the 90s Renaissance and some of the Disney classics. And that movie was called
How does she know
Enchanted.
you
Ah.
love her? How does she know she
There's Amy
This
Adams.
was such a fun. This is another one of those movies that's like they to this brand new idea.
Yes,
It was done so well.
so well.
Everybody wants to know their true love is true. How do you
Two
know
Central Park. Oh, I love when
loves you?
when they do it properly and it works, like La La Land, where just the regular bystanders suddenly are flash
Yeah,
mob.
yeah.
It's like, wow, it's so cool. And there's a lot of that in Enchanted. And so what's funny about Enchanted is it's self-aware, right? It's like almost a parody of Disney princesses and what would happen if they came to New York City, or
Right.
real New York City.
It was really
And
good.
so good. Acting was good, perfect cast, and the same writers that did those ones we talked about: Pocahontas, Hercules, some of Aladdin, all that. So no, Hunchback. So they do that really well, and I don't think it's often that there's a live action. It seems to be the trend when I was looking at this was I love the animated ones. Enchanted was an example of maybe a rare live action one that I liked. It's weird to say live action because it's not necessarily based on a regular movie, whatever you want to call it, with humans.
Right.
But there were, back in the old days of classic Disney, so many, and that could fill an entire episode. That is stuff like Mary Poppins and the big movie classics of those times, which were a lot of those type of movies, whether they were Disney or MGM, were in the Great Movie Ride. They would have the big,
Yeah.
the dancers, all the choreography. What is those dancers? What are they called?
I
They're
don't
like
actually know what they're from.
spinning.
On that big
Yeah.
circle thing.
Yeah, they're like spinning, something like that.
I don't know what it's from. That's so weird that I
Yeah.
haven't like looked
It
into
must
that
be
ever.
some MGM classic thing, right?
Right.
I bet my dad knows. Bet he knows. Also in MGM Great Movie Ride, there was a Wizard of Oz scene, Yellow Brick Road with the witch. Speaking of Wicked, I'm hoping that we can watch it later this week.
I know you're hoping that. We'll see.
That's my longing song. And then also
My longing song.
no judgment for anyone who doesn't like it. I just think, oh, check it out, and then if you don't like it. But the way I like to think of it is just like all of those ones we just talked about, the same exact creators. So just know going in, you're gonna get that like full on musical, nothing holding back, and in your face. It blows your hair back, whether you like it or not. So that's why I love to hear people's opinions on it. And the fun thing about Wicked 2 is it has a huge fandom that I'm not even a part of. Like, I watched it once, know the songs. It wasn't until the movie came out that I became like obsessed. But there's a lot of people like this is their like Rocky Horror and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So love
Are you
the
gonna go
fandom.
see the plays every time it comes through now?
Maybe. I almost want to go back to New York and watch it again live. But the sad part is, not sad. Oh, this is controversial. I don't think I should even say it.
You like the movie more.
I like the movie more.
That's
Which
the
is-
same that you feel
yeah.
about Les Mis. Maybe you're just, well, no, you really like stage shows though.
Sure. But you are right. I was a filmmaker at heart. So maybe it is. I like to see, that's what it is. It's pure razzle dazzle. Like, I like any genre, whatever, horror, documentary. But with these musicals, they're just so over the top. It's like jazz hands, entertainment. Like, that's what it's for. Hey, let's make a moving picture. Hey, you see? Love it. Love
Aw.
it. Love it. Okay, enough about Wicked. We're going to watch it and then we'll figure out your thoughts there. But there were a couple things outside of movies that Stephen Schwartz and Alan Menken have created for Disney. One of them is pretty recent. So there's a Tree of Life nighttime show that happens at Animal Kingdom. It's like a projection mapping with like emotional music and some like Pandora dragons or whatever. But yeah, they made that. They wrote that for Disney parks. And then a lot of the fireworks shows have songs from all of these movies. But I thought what was interesting is that fireworks shows, at least the really good ones that make us cry, they have that same exact format of introducing the
True.
razzle dazzle, a longing song, and usually it's like a medley of longing songs all at once. And then yeah, like the villains and then the big ending. Love it. It's a story.
Same as like a Disney storybook ride in
There you go.
Fantasyland.
There you go. You have the beats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so think of that going into any of these big movie musicals, and hopefully they do more, but they have to be very good quality, like Wicked. Okay, Patreon topic. This is a really good one because we love pirates, and I'm gonna let our Patreon member Don tell us the topic himself.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. This is Don. So, I am thinking that we're going to go out there a little bit and have a suggestion. I would like to get you to rank and review all 10 of the Disney pirate movies and tell us where they fall and what you think of them.
Ooh. So not just pirates, we get to be judges of a ranking system here.
We do.
We do. So there are so many pirate movies and pirate things in the Disneyverse. So we're taking Don's question and kind of doing a segment inspired by it because we want to do even more than just the question because we love pirates. Pirates are good.
Pirates are good.
Pirates are good. So I have a handful that I'm going to try here. I'm going to attempt to rank 10 to 1 being my favorite. And these are just going to be pirates, like as in the characters, not even just the movies, but any pirate character.
Okay, so we're ranking the top 10 Disney pirates.
Yes.
We're getting even more personal here.
Even more personal.
Okay.
And so I'll go down my list and just you comment on them.
Okay, I get to judge your judging.
Judge the judging. Okay, so I'm starting
Judge the judge.
with Jake. He's 10 of the top 10.
I've never seen him in action, so I wouldn't have put him on my scale.
Okay, he's very cute.
just off the shores of Neverland, a hideaway at sea. Yo ho!
Yo ho!
Let's go!
Is that the narrator?
A pirate band outwits the plans of Captain Hook and Smee. Yo!
I guess so, yeah. So that's the theme song for Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I've never watched it at all. It's a Disney Junior cartoon, but I just
He
know
is
the
cute,
character.
though.
It's adorable. Yeah,
He's cute.
red
And it
bandana.
reminds me of this Wii game I played called Zack and Wiki. And the pirate looks similar in my opinion. Like he's like a young
Banjo.
little guy but a pirate and kind of like more like rebellious in a way. Like he's not
Oh,
like a cute, soft little kid. He's like kind of like gets into things. He's like a typical little boy, you know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Reminds me also of next year's Elio from Pixar.
Aw.
Similar character design, very cute. Okay, so Jake makes it on the list, number 10, because I haven't seen it. So, okay, number 9 is the Foot Guy from Pirates of the Caribbean: The Ride.
First of all, don't call him the foot guy. That sounds like something else. Call him the stinky foot guy.
Okay, so this one is a good example, I think, of a Mandela effect, right? Why?
Oh my gosh, this one's definitely a Mandela effect. And I still don't know for sure, but I can say one thing about it. So lots of people, I was even in a boat recently on Pirates, and people said, what? They cleaned up his foot. So in Disneyland, when you go under the bridge, got like Harley Davidson's driving by me right now. Just give them a second to do their thing, little pirates, little bike pirates.
Bike
Um,
pirates. They are, actually.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have like the skull and crossbones on their jackets. usually, right? So
Weird.
yeah,
Pirates of the Road.
they heard their calling. So the one in Disneyland is the like very close to the end of the ride before the scene with right? The jail scene. You will see the pirate with his foot hanging off. It is a bare foot. He is drunk, wasted with his pirate friend, parrot friend, and his foot is like arguably dirty, and now it is no longer super dirty, like muddy. It used to be like muddy.
Wait, so it
But when you-
was, in fact, before.
I don't know, but that's the Mandela effect. Is people are
Oh.
saying it used to be, including myself.
I always
However,
remember
if
it
you
dirty.
go in Disney World, it is dirty. So I'm wondering if we're just mixing those two.
I feel like I
The same
remember being
pirate in the same-
dirty
In place.
before I ever went to Disney World. Like as a kid, I still remember it dirty.
Okay, maybe it was and they cleaned it up, or maybe it never was and it's just a straight up Mandela effect.
Mandela, and you'd think it would be dirty. The characters,
Yeah, he's walking around in that. There's like not even paved streets back then, right? So, oh my gosh, I disappeared.
Wait, okay, here's another Mandela effect. Did the drunk bottle ever pour on you?
Does what?
The bottle that's tipping over drunk, does it ever pour on you on the boat?
I don't even know what you're talking about. No.
Does
Oh,
the bottle
the foot guy?
Yeah, does it tip and
No.
spill water?
I'm gonna slam my door. Hold on.
Never
Sorry, I
has?
had to turn my light back on. No, it never did.
Okay.
Never did. That's you and your
But so you don't
dreams.
know the foot pirate name.
No, I can't remember his name, but I believe he does have one.
Well, I'm disappointed.
We all call him the Stinky Foot, which is also weird because it's not
Stinky.
Dirty Foot, but we all say Stinky Foot for some reason.
Okay, number 8 on my list is
Okay.
Red from also the Pirates attraction. Is she in
I
both
think
parks, World and Land?
she is.
Okay.
Yep.
And I,
She's very new.
to be frank, I liked her when she was also a hooker or whatever she was.
Oh, I loved her. And you know what?
And she could have
It's,
still been a pirate that way.
It still work, and that's fine.
It still work. And I feel like she would have somehow schemed her way to take control. She would have been really smart.
Seduced all of them.
Oh,
Used
yeah?
her.
I'm thinking like, remember Westworld? The
Yes.
the main character, she
Yeah.
was smarter than they thought.
Yep.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Okay. And then, okay, starts getting hard because now we're in the top six. Wait, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, no, it's just number 7. I can't count. Is Davy Jones from the movie, the second
Okay,
movie
okay.
from Pirates. Davy Jones, he, at the time, I haven't really watched it again lately, but I know at the time that I haven't seen the visual effects technology that good. And I was so
It was very
impressed.
cool.
With
Yes.
the little what, suction cup tentacles.
Little tentacles,
They
yeah.
moved and they like throbbed.
Ooh.
Slimy. Blended well with the actor's face. Really good, really good. And then for a while, I think he was on the rides through Mist.
He was on that waterfall projection. Yep.
Gone.
Gone.
Yes,
But it's good. We got the old audio back, which is cute. So
which still
I'm okay
references
with it.
the legend of Davy Jones.
Yes. I wish that like the waterfall thing, if they had if they were able to keep it up, like the maintenance of it, then it was super cool. But like, do you remember at some point it was just like so faded away,
Yeah.
and then the air wasn't blowing correctly to make it actually look like a waterfall?
I didn't
So-
even know it was supposed to be a waterfall. I thought it was just supposed to be a fog machine.
Oh, I'm
It-
pretty sure it's
yeah.
supposed to look like waterfall, but I don't know. Maybe
I
not.
know, I think you're right. It came across so almost too modern compared to the rest of the ride
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But not even like modern enough, like 2030. It was like modern, like
Yeah, I bet you
2010.
if they came out with that right now, people would be super pissed because that was still back in like the early 2000s when people, I think it was like 2007 or something when they redid that. So
Yeah.
like people weren't like social media up yet about like their angry moments of Disney in
Angry
comparison to where
moments.
they are today.
I did like the Pirates movies because they would create some of their own original pirate characters, but they also used real ones from novels and legends, like Davy Jones.
Hmm.
And I think that was really smart because it made it seem a little more real,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
it was
like
good.
history. But the next one on my list is definitely fictional, and he is a sidekick. And he's been in films, in books, musicals, and cartoons.
And he's
He-
adorable.
He's adorable. How to describe his outfit so maybe our listeners can guess.
Okay. This is one that I would highly suggest if you are wanting to get into Disney bounding but don't know how to go about it. This is a good first step. He is wearing, I think, blue shorts, flip-flops, like sandals. And then he has a blue and white striped t-shirt, but it's like maybe like aqua blue and white.
Yeah.
And then he has an orange beanie on and glasses.
Is it?
Did I get his outfit right?
Wait,
Or is it
I'm trying
red?
to figure out the top. I think it's red. I think.
Okay.
None
Same
other
color
than
family. It's close.
Shmee.
Oh, a pirate's life is a wonderful life, a roving over the
Aw.
sea. Give me a career as a buccaneer, it's the life of a pirate for me. Oh, the life of a pirate for me.
Little pirate for me.
Oh, a pirate's life is a wonderful life. They never
Aha, that
So
is
cute.
from Peter Pan and Shmee. Yeah, he's so cute, and you're right. It is a fun, easy outfit to put together.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, number 5 on the top 10 pirates is the skeleton from the Pirates ride with the lightning, and he's driving the boat.
Oh, very specific one
Very
too. Okay.
specific. Now that's another one. I don't know if it has a name or was the lore updated in another ride. What do you think?
No, he's still there. Oh, is that what you're asking? If he's still there?
More so, like, do you know? Is he a character? Does he have a name or anything?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think
Wow.
so.
He's there with
I'm
the
not
foot.
sure any of the skeleton ones have names. I could be wrong. However, and I've still yet to find out if this is true or false. Supposedly, the one in Disneyland has a quote unquote hidden Mickey on it, and it is because his right hand, he has a Mickey Mouse watch on it.
No.
I can't tell, so I've given up trying to figure out how I could, because I don't want to like
Okay.
just, I'd have to like jump off the boat with a flashlight. I don't have that with me, and I can't jump off the boat, so I'm never gonna find out.
We'll need to check next time.
I've looked. You can't. I mean, you can check all you want, but man, it is hard to see.
We're gonna check with a night goggle, or we we befriend the solo rider near us and convince them to shine their light on it.
Yeah, and that'd be their fault. Okay,
Yep,
got
totally.
you.
Okay, so skeleton from the ride. Number 4. Okay, I don't know if this is a pirate or not. Dreamfinder from the Figment original second version of the ride.
Yeah, he's not a pirate.
He's not. What is he? Like Doctor Who or something?
He's he's an inventor and an explorer and an
Oh,
adventurer, SEA. He is a Victorian era steampunk cool guy.
you know what he sounds like a lot is the Wizard of Oz, the human version,
That's true.
like quirky inventor.
Yeah, yep.
And speaking of Wizard of Oz and steampunk, in Wicked, I think something you're really gonna like about the musical itself before the movie, like the live stage, it's very steampunk, which
Okay.
goes good with the Oz world. God, Wicked's my whole personality. So number 3, here we go. We're in the top 3 now.
Okay.
We're in the top 3. This is where it got really tough. Number 3, drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
Original character that they've created that went on to become
And he is
icon.
so good.
So good.
Like just so good.
And
He
it's
did
one
such a great job of making this like drunk, kind of a jerk, but
Yeah.
like lovable. Like everybody, like he's not actually that bad, but like, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of right in between and where you still like are allowed to really like him.
Yep.
And then he's still like not the greatest person or pirate.
We love an anti-hero. We love an anti-hero.
Yes.
Venom. Okay, so the other cool thing too about the way Johnny Depp combined with the costuming department and makeup and all that stuff, it's easily, not, I shouldn't say easily, but it is replicable while looking almost exactly like the movie. So if you have the right type of height and face and good eyeliner and good acting,
And
you
good
could
acting. Yep.
become Jack Sparrow, right? At the parks, on the cruise
Right.
ships. I've seen fans do it, and I'm always like, oh my God, that's really good.
You know what
So
I would like
it's
to see about Jack Sparrow is who else almost got casted as him.
Oh,
Because I just can't imagine that he would be anywhere near the same if it wasn't Johnny Depp, like whoever would bring that character to life would probably have such a different way to bring him to life. Like I can't even see him without it being Johnny Depp, but I want to know now. I'm gonna have to look that up.
okay. So I will tell you, and it would have
Oh.
completely changed it.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost as if maybe it was written for whoever is in the role to turn it in to what it's going to be.
Mhm.
Jim Carrey.
Oh my God. Especially right then, I would have been so annoyed. I'm like, enough. Wasn't it like right when he did
Oh.
Grinch?
Oh my God, you're right. Grinch.
I was over Jim Carrey at that point. I was like, enough already.
I will say Grinch is so good though that I forget that it's even a person. I'm just like, it's the Grinch. But no, Jim Carrey was getting oversaturated, as was Johnny Depp, both actually.
True,
I was
true.
like, either one of them. But I think this was a Johnny Depp standout.
I don't think I was ever sick of Johnny Depp though, for some reason.
Maybe
Maybe just
until
because he
Tim
doesn't
Burton.
feel like Johnny Depp in every single character. They're like, oh, he does them really differently. But
I
Jim
don't know.
Carrey kind of feels like Jim Carrey all the time.
I would say once Tim Burton and that string of like Alice in Wonderland, Willy Wonka, too much. I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's true.
And Jim Carrey, I hate the mask. Like he would always do the same faces. Fire Marshal Bill,
Yes.
Riddler. He was Riddler in Batman Forever. But yeah, so it was either going to be Jim Carrey. There were other people in the running. Hugh Jackman, not that famous then.
Whoa, Wolverine?
Yep, he wasn't as huge back then. He was Australian actor.
Wait, hold on. What's his name? Don't even tell me in Les Mis. Jean Valjean.
Jean
Stop it.
Valjean.
Oh my gosh.
And then there was one
Weird.
other contender.
Okay.
Is
Ryan Reynolds.
No, this
Just
one
kidding.
is random because I don't see what they would have brought to it. Like they would have definitely needed to be directed. No offense to any Matt McConaughey fans out there.
Oh, yeah, that's a no.
Matt McConaughey. I like him. He seems like a nice person. I love that he's like a stoner. Plays his
I feel like I
bongo
would have been
drums.
bored with his version.
He'd be like
of Jack
sleepy.
Sparrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be like a sleepy one. But yeah, oh, that's a good question. There were other people.
I love that
Yeah.
you just had that in your back pocket.
We got Jack Sparrow. Number 2, pirate top 10 list. Old Bill.
Old Bill, my number one. Old Bill the cat lady. I love him.
So he's on the ride,
Yes.
the boat ride.
The boat ride.
Both parks too.
Yes, he's part of Pirates of the Caribbean. Excuse
Boat
you.
ride, not to be confused with the Pirates coaster.
Yeah. Yes, he is in the scene right after you go through the room where everybody's chasing each other. And on the right side, you'll see old Bill, and he's seated with his two or three cats. I can't remember now. And he's drinking some rum and belligerently speaking to his cats as if they were other people. He's so good. This is the very next scene you see right after old Bill on the other side. You'll hear the song being sung out loud.
Wow, so he's pretty recognizable. You look and you know what we're talking about when you see the cats.
Ah, you be a feisty one, you be. So good.
Very cute. Is there any old Bill merch?
I don't think so. I wish.
It seems like if it's not out there, it would be a cute little Christmas ornament of just his scene.
Right? Oh, yeah, especially with like just the little like candlelight lighting it up.
Cats.
Very cute.
Okay, number
Bye-bye.
1. Top 10.
Number 1, drum roll.
Number Captain Hook. Tick tock, tick tock,
Those
tick
symbols.
tock. Shimmy. Oh, those are pretty good symbols. Earlier, you were whistling with the pirates, but I don't think anybody heard it. So because of this, our microphones are so good sometimes, at least
That's
on the Zoom
hilarious.
version. Captain Hook, I mean, classic Disney pirate.
Classic. And he's another one that's like lovable asshole, right? Like
Yeah.
he's and what's his face played him? Don't tell me. Do not tell me. What Dustin Hoffman played him in Hook.
Oh, yep,
Right?
you're right. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And he did a great job there to bring him into a live action.
very good.
Very believable for me at least. I thought he played him very well. Yeah, I love Captain Hook. Good choice.
Captain Hook, number 1. He's also a fun character meet and greet because it's one of the I'd say one of the few humanoid Disney cartoon characters that works really good with the plastic head.
Yes, yeah.
I wouldn't want to see someone as Captain Hook.
That's true.
I like the big
Well,
cartoon.
like we
head.
got the Queen of Hearts in both formats now, and people like her in the live action one, so or the
Wait,
face character one.
the one does it look like Tim Burton's wife? What's that
No,
one?
no.
Oh, I hate that one with the big forehead. Oof,
Yeah, no.
sorry. Sorry if
And you
anybody
right now, you
liked
can't
that
even see my
version.
hair. That's funny.
But yeah, so that's the top 10.
You forget your words.
That's our top 10 pirates.
That was
for-
awesome. Thanks,
for thank-
Dawn.
Thanks, Don. Very good question and prompt. So today we talked all about musicals and the different types of songs, particularly the era of the 90s Renaissance when we had Howard and Alan and Stephen Schwartz, who also did Wicked. You should watch that. Watch that movie if you haven't seen it yet. And then we did a really fun Patreon topic all about top 10 Disney pirates.
Yes, we did. And thank you all for listening. And we hope you enjoyed episode 220 of the Disney Holic Show.
Follow us on social media at Instagram.
At the Disney Holics. And if you'd like to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com.
Bye.
Okay, bye.